Today, Monday, we are starting a new series of Bible reflections. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, this week's readings for the Mass are from chapter 12 of Mark's Gospel, progressively from verse 1 on today till Saturday. So let me read today's reading, then we shall have a bit of reflection on this reading. Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, verses 1 to 12 of chapter 12. Jesus began to speak to the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders in parables. A man planted a vineyard. He fenced it round, dug out a trough for the winepress, and built a tower. Then he leased it to tenants and went abroad. When the time came, he sent a servant to the tenants to collect from them his share of the produce from the vineyard. But they seized the man, thrashed him, and sent him away empty-handed. Next he sent another servant to them. Him they beat about the head and treated shamefully. And he sent another, and him they killed. Then a number of others, and they thrashed some and killed the rest. He had still someone left, his beloved son. He sent him to them last of all. They will respect my son, he said. But those tenants said to each other, this is the heir, come on, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours. So they seized him and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. Now what will the owner of the vineyard do? He'll come and make an end of the tenants and give the vineyard to others. Have you not read this text of Scripture? It was the stone rejected by the builders that became the keystone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is wonderful to see. And they would have liked to arrest him because they realized that the parable was aimed at them, but they were afraid of the crowds. So they left him alone and went away. The Gospel of the Lord. This Gospel passage, my dear friends, has got an Old Testament background. First of all, it echoes Isaiah's prophecy, where he uses the imagery of vineyard for the people of Israel and Jerusalem. The winepress represents the altar in Jerusalem, and the tower represents the temple of Jerusalem. After planting the vineyard and giving to the tenants, he sent his servants looking for produce. Servants is a term used in the Old Testament for prophets. But they did not respect his servants. They maltreated them. At the end, when his own son was sent, what did they say? They said, here comes the heir, let us kill him. Exactly the words brothers of Joseph of the Old Testament used when they tried to kill him by throwing him into the well. The political background of the situation is that Jerusalem was just about to fall under the army siege of the Romans. There were terrible things happening there. And what happens then? The Lord, the owner of the vineyard, brought them to justice and gave the vineyard to other people. In a sense, Mark is reminding the Christians, look at what happened. Jerusalem lost all its prominence and ownership of the people of God. Someone else is put in leadership, and that is Jesus Christ. When the parable says they killed him and threw him out, that also reminded the early Christians how Jesus was treated. The Sanhedrin did not make any arrangements for Jesus' funeral, that way bringing him the ultimate humiliation. The one who was ultimately humiliated was made the cornerstone of the new building, the church. And we are part of that new building, the church, with Jesus as the cornerstone. Now, this is a call for us to think about our own life, to see what is the cornerstone in our life. At home and in our society, is Jesus the cornerstone? Or is our foundation based on other aspirations of our life? Let's be firmly founded on Jesus. God bless you. Thank you.